the biggest benefit for splitting a novel into 2 movies is you actually just get more of the novel in the movies. You know, it's always a trick when you're trying to whittle a 450-page novel down to 2 hours. There's a lot of loss. This allows us to have more movie. It also allows us to do some sort of world expansion, so there's always, surprises even for the fans of the books. You know, you get something new within the movies themselves. Well, for the look of District 13, I think, most of the inspiration came from the source material. You know, Suzanne described 13 as a district that used to be a military district and it had nuclear silos and graphite mines. And so we started by sort of researching nuclear silos and graphite mines and then thinking about, okay, well, this is a civilization that's lived underground for 75 years. What would that be like? And we looked at things like aircraft carriers and, sort of self-contained, internal sort of living facilities and how they're laid out and how they work. And then we sort of actually drew out a whole schematic of what it would look like from above. So we could also get a sense of geography of where everything would exist. And we sort of built it all out from there. For the hovercraft scenes, I wanted the hovercrafts to feel real as if they could be helicopters in a movie you would make today. And so we actually built a set that the actors could go inside and out of that we would put on a crane, and we could lift it up and down and had these big fans to sort of kick up dust and all that. So it actually felt to the actors like they were really landing in a hovercraft and could get in and it would take off and they could run away. And then we just kind of digitally extended it. So I've just been a fan of Julianne's for a really long time. I just think she's a phenomenal actress. I mean, she's done so many different kinds of things. I mean, from comedies to dramas and period pieces and thrillers, and she's phenomenal. So when I found out that she was interested in playing the part, I mean, it was a no-brainer for me. It was, yeah, absolutely. The fun thing is that because we have room to sort of expand the books, we were expanding some of the coin character scenes. She's a very important character in the books, but if you really take a look at them, there's very few scenes with her in it. And so we have more scenes with coin than the book does. So there was some character development needed, but she was on board earlier and early enough that she was actually part of the development process. And so we sort of incorporated some of her ideas and what she wanted to bring to President Coin into the character in the script. Effie actually wasn't in 13 at all in the book. She makes an appearance at the very end, which would be the very end of Mockingjay Part 2. And, after going through the process of catching fire, you really see how Elizabeth especially has made Effie a really iconic part of these movies. And we just all, quite honestly, couldn't imagine, telling one of these stories and making one of these movies that didn't have Effie in it. And so we, spoke to Suzanne Collins, the author of the books, and, convinced her that Effie needed to be in it. And of course, when Suzanne had seen Catching Fire, she, knew that there was no way we could make a movie without Effie. Quite honestly, I just admire her as an actress in general. I mean, she just is Katniss Everdeen. I mean, I think it's almost impossible for anybody to imagine anybody else playing the part. But she's also just a phenomenal actress, and I think we work really well together. I mean, as sort of the entire cast does, she's just able to inhabit that role, and she's a very intuitive actress and very instinctive. And very naturalistic, and I think she brings a realism and a naturalism and an honesty and a gravity to a role that I think people really love.